Hey everyone. Um, it is Friday night. Finally. I'm just relaxing in bed, playing some games on my iPhone. Just finished talking to my grandma. I had to call her to fill her in on what happened this week at the Lupus clinic, and now I'm going to fill you guys in. As you can see, my face is really red. It pretty much has been every night. I'm doing a vlog, dear. Alex always seems to walk in when I'm vlogging. Sorry for the shadow on my face. It's from me holding the phone here. Alright, let's try to make this quick. So, I went and had my second appointment at the Lupus clinic on Tuesday. Tuesday was a very long day, might I add. I had 3 appointments at 3 different hospitals in one day. So, first was speech therapy at 8:30 in the morning. Not much fun. Hello, Riley. My arms are getting tired already holding this up. Sorry, guys. It's such a bad angle. So I had my speech therapy at 8:30 in the morning, and that went well. I think there might be one more session left, and I'll be done. This time we worked on my speaking voice instead of my singing voice. Because of the raspiness that I sometimes get, which I'm getting right now because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So here we go. This should be interesting for me to practice. She was just teaching me how to really focus on breathing from my diaphragm when I'm talking, and, just so that, because the raspiness seems to come mostly at the end of my sentences. And she said that's because I'm running out of air. And also, and so my vocal cords are like, scrambling to make up for the loss of air. And on top of that, sorry, this is so shaky. My arms are tired. And also, the raspiness comes from the fatigue itself. Like, my body's so fatigued that my voice becomes fatigued, and so it's just like I have no energy, and it comes down on my voice and everything. So I have to try to focus on my breathing so that my speaking voice is clearer, and it does work when I really focus on it. And so when I'm at work and I'm reading to the kids is when I really get to practice it, because when you're reading, you don't really have to think about what you're saying. You're just reading off the page, whereas right now I'm just thinking off the top of my head, so it's hard to do both at the same time, but I'll keep working on it. So that was finished before 9:30. And I had almost an hour and a half till my appointment at the Lupus clinic, so I just grabbed a little bite to eat and headed on over to the other hospital for the Lupus clinic. Now, and then after the Lupus clinic, I had a bone density test at 2:45 at another hospital. So, the main point of this video, the Lupus clinic. I don't know what to think about the Lupus clinic visit. I'm kind of in shock, and confused, and all kinds of things, because Dr. Urowitz, and bear in mind But I've mentioned before that he is one of the leading rheumatologists for lupus. He specializes in lupus. He's done research in lupus. He took part in the research that helped develop Benlysta. So he knows his stuff about lupus. All the blood work that he ran came back normal. And that's including all the blood work that he runs to find lupus. Which basically means it's looking like I don't have lupus. This is what he said. It doesn't look like I have lupus. He hasn't totally said it's not lupus, but in so many words, that's what transpired, is that it's looking like I don't have lupus. Reason being, the only test that came back positive was my ANA, and all the other tests that they run for lupus came back negative. And when he said that, I didn't really know what to think or what to say. So I was like, so if it's not lupus, what is it? And he said, well, that is what we're going to have to try and figure out. And when I finally wrapped my head around what that meant, it basically means I'm at square one again. I'm right at the beginning of not knowing what's causing all these problems. And while I don't want to have lupus, for the past 2 years, I've thought that that's what I had. And I had finally come to accept that. And when I got the diagnosis of lupus, I was relieved to finally have a name of what was causing my problems. It was nice to finally know what it was. And now we're back to not knowing. So then I asked him, well, what would have made this other rheumatologist I had been seeing say that it's lupus? And he said, well, it was probably because of the positive ANA and all my symptoms at the time. And when they found the protein in my urine, they probably just thought lupus nephritis, the beginning of lupus nephritis. Well, he looked at the results of my 24-hour urine collection back then, and he said the amount of protein that was in my urine was a very small amount. And he said what he would consider it was borderline, meaning it wasn't really severe yet. Like, it was just on that border of not serious and serious. Like, it was just right there. And so what he's having me do now is this weekend I'm going to repeat the 24-hour urine collection, even though I did do one for him already the last time, which he said it came back normal. But he wants me to do it again because he really wants to be sure. So I have to do it again this weekend and take it in on Monday. And when I take it in, once I take it in, 2 to 3 days after that, I have to call the clinic if I haven't heard from them. They might call me. Sorry, my nose is itching like crazy for some reason. And then, depending on the results, if they're negative, they're taking me off my Fortic. Because I basically don't need it if my kidneys are fine. Otherwise, I will stay on it. And then I will see them again in 3 months' time. And at that time, they're going to repeat all the blood work again and we'll basically go from there. So I said, what could it be? And he said it could be a number of autoimmune diseases. It almost sounded like they were hinting at mixed connective tissue disease, which I have heard brought up in the past from the general internist, because they were saying that I have a lot of features of different autoimmune diseases. And they were actually, the attending doctor that I saw first was actually saying that this redness that I'm getting, they weren't classifying it so much as a butterfly rash, because she was looking really closely at it, and there's a lot of red dots and red marks in amongst it. There's also a lot of like red capillaries that are in there that have only really appeared over the last year or maybe in the last few months. And so she was saying that that happens in this other autoimmune disease, and I forget the name. And same as the colitis, like the GI issues, comes up in this other autoimmune disease more than it does with lupus. So she was saying it could be this autoimmune disease, or it could be that I have features of various ones, which would be an overlapping, which in my mind I'm thinking that's mixed connective tissue disease. Or they actually said that sometimes they can never put a name on it. Sometimes you just have features of autoimmune diseases, and they just have to treat the symptoms as they appear. And as we know, most of these autoimmune diseases anyway have similar treatments. But I don't like that idea of never having a name for what I deal with or what I have or what's causing all this. So, yeah, so that's where we're at now. And I don't know what to think of it. I'm actually quite mad that I've been under the impression I've had lupus for the past 2 years, and maybe I've been on medications that I didn't necessarily need to be on, my Fortic being one of them. And I don't particularly like the fact of being at square one again. That's frustrating. So, I don't know. I don't know. I went to my lupus support group this week and I filled them in, and they were shocked. And one of them said, yeah, maybe it's not showing up in the blood work this time, but maybe it will next time. Because as we all know, lupus can not always show up in blood work. So they were kind of like, wondering how that could be. So, I mean, they were so nice though in that we're breaking for the summer and we come back in September for meetings, and they said that they would still have me there, which I'm still going to go because I'm still in the autoimmune disease family and I'll still learn a lot from them. And, we've become friends, so they still want me to come, and I think I'll still go. And I mean, I'm still gonna keep up with all my lupus here on YouTube, because who knows, maybe I do have lupus, and maybe eventually we'll figure it out, but for now it's not coming up. And so that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to fill you in on the latest, and give me your thoughts on this. I'm just kind of stumped on it and stunned. So anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.